Hello, everybody! Welcome to Coriander Society Yokai Blossom. I am tormented by gnomes. It's my joy to be your game master. Joining me for the arc finale of Yokai Blossom, we've got Leg Day Gaming, Necra Gaming, NinjaManMat Gaming, and Pods of War Gaming. How are you today, gamers?
Gaming?
We're gaming. Good, gamer.
About to do
Doing
the
good.
gaming.
Exactly. I noticed you're a gamer. I'm pretty gamer myself.
And how are you doing, tormented by gaming?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a delight to have all of you here with me. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Thank you also to our sponsor, Daisuke Publishing and Anime 5e. You can do !anime in the chat to get a link to pick up the Anime 5e rulebook. We've had a lot of fun with it so far. 2 of our characters are created with those rules. Everybody has had the chance to create their own little companion spirit who uses those rules. Check it out. They've been super supportive of this plot arc. And even though tonight is the arc finale for Yokai Blossom, this is now part of the Coriander Society universe, and I can guarantee you we will be returning to it.
Yeah.
So, anything before we get right into it?
Can't
No,
think
We
of
should get
anything.
right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, great.
Gaming.
Oh!
Oh
Right at the top.
Yep,
Huh.
why not?
Let's see it.
Ooh! Dynamic entry.
Ooh!
We need to
Ooh.
read that. What does
We're
it
gonna
say?
need to
Is
deploy.
that from Streamloots Tormented by Gnomes?
That is not from Streamloots, but Streamloots are now active.
no.
Leg day with
Oh
3.
my.
Oh yeah.
Always.
When last we left our heroes, you were in the depths of the spirit wilds, getting closer and closer, passing the 7 mountains on the way to the heart of the storm where a dewdrop would fall. And you witnessed that very fall from a cyclonic, tumultuous thunderstorm right over the heart of the ancient capital city of the society that has been long since buried by the bloom. You saw a bolt of lightning and a single dewdrop fall into the heart of the ancient city of steel. And as you get closer, you notice that the last few mountains you're supposed to cross are not mountains at all, but the completely vine and tree encrusted remnants, the empty skeletons of skyscrapers from a towering civilization that existed here long ago. Already, with every step that brings you closer, as the blossom spirits float around you, watching your every move, you walk amidst the ghosts of the past. Bits and pieces of technology rusted over, grown embedded inside the trees and the vines and the wood that have absorbed it over the century that has passed since the bloom emerged into this place. You are traveling to the very heart of this world, the place where its destiny was changed forever. Each of you with your own blossom spirit to guide you along the way, you push forward deeper and deeper. And as you go, you start to see more and more strange shapes. Vehicles long since buried by shrubs and bushes. The bones of a monorail system or some sort of sky transit system, mostly collapsed, some of it held up from above by the vines that have grown down, all of it completely clogged by verdigris. But underneath it, you can see the industrial bones of this ancient place. Leg Day, how's Orvi taking this spectacle and this ordeal as you walk closer and closer?
Orvi's got the wow kind of face on as he's a little bit enamored with the steel. The complications for this tribe have run into over the last 10 years of minutes, but it feels like the steel is the only thing that can really bring them back to any relevance or hopes of long-term survival. So he's got a broker's eye out here looking for things that might be worth taking back and trying to build a life around, really.
I would recommend the taco cart.
+1 XP and -1 taco cart. He is accompanied by a blossom spirit in the shape of a wyvern, the first blossom spirit to bond with a member of the Oniyuri family for at least a decade at this point. Jisha, this is an alien place, somewhere you've never traveled this far, and it is vitally important both to the steel that you have sworn to protect this world against, and to the very first doorway that brought your kind into this world. How do we find Jisha as she makes her way through the increasingly industrial, yet still overgrown environment?
I think she would be very taken aback, like kind of looking at everything like, wow, I had no idea that this kind of stuff existed. Like, this is something that I have never seen before. So, she'd be kind of like maybe a little wide eyed, but like, just kind of taking it all in.
All right. And as always, Ken, her loyal koi guardian, is in his magical spirit fishbowl by her side, tied on by a sash. John Carmichael. In the company, your shadow has taken on a strange form, willowing over the various areas as you pass them, distorting, changing, sprouting leaves, only the shadows of leaves beneath you. How do we find our former wizard and former Coriander Society investigator?
John is just taking it all in. I mean, he's used to coming across these apocalyptic style towns or cities, rather. This is a megaplex of sorts. And so much like Orvi, John's kind of, as they move along, picking through the refuse of the past and trying to find anything that would prove to be of use.
All right. And last but not least, what about Asena? Traveling with her slime friend. Where is your slime friend at this point, by the way? Slakura.
Slakura is just bouncing along on her shoulder. Yeah.
I love that name. So good.
And what's Asena doing as she walks through this ruined city?
I mean, she's probably paying less attention to the city as much as she should, because she's got this slime with her that is just like bouncing all over, and I think she's enjoying it, to be honest.
Yeah, just distracted. I get that.
Yeah.
I had a kit. I was playing video games last night. I was playing Squad with my friends, and one of the kittens literally crawled up onto my shoulder and fell asleep.
Oh.
It was fantastic. It did not help my KD at all, but it was fantastic. All right.
Hey guys, I can't shoot.
Yeah, there's a kitten.
Cat
Sorry.
will wake up.
Gnomes, about this city of Bastille, is there anything that would have kept these characters in the world from going into it before? Was it hard to find? Is it at all locked off, or was it just open this entire time to visits?
The pathway is blocked by the spirit wilds. If you don't have a blossom spirit with you, you simply don't find the way. If you have a blossom spirit with you, deliberately guiding you in, then the path is clear. Otherwise, there's an obfuscation effect that prevents you from even finding it in the first place.
So we're basically being guided in by our Pokemon and our shadow.
Mm-hmm. And Etelvina is wandering now with the scarlet lily octopus that bonded with her is sitting
That's
around
right.
her neck like a scarf, like a flowery long scarf with multiple frills tied around her neck and sort of draping behind her in no breeze whatsoever, just
That's so cool.
preparing for combat if necessary.
Quick question, mate. I know that Gaston was staying behind and reviewing blueprints. Are we still, now that we're in this area, are we within range of being able to communicate with them to get the benefit of their research, or is that for something else?
No, you can have the benefit of that research. It's also going to be your exit strategy. But
Nice. Okay.
Gaston, over your comms, is able to pipe through your sort of relaying back and forth. He's able to guide you through the old transit tunnel system that they had underneath. Some
Nice.
areas of it are clogged, collapsed, and some are completely filled with various plants and such. But both Jisha and Asena have the ability to communicate with plants and to ask them to politely move out of the way.
So, do we see John just like speaking into a phone?
It's an earpiece. Both
Oh.
he and Asena have little comm earpieces. Though John also has a cell phone.
Who are you talking to, by the way?
1 second, Gaston. That would be Gaston Tasto, the gentleman you haven't actually had a chance to meet yet. He's back at the which village did we come from? John looks over at Jisha. Where did we just come from again?
The Kuroyuri village.
That's right. Yeah, he's back there looking up some plans to kind of help guide us on our way if these wonderful spirits of ours happen to get us insanely lost.
So, are you guys like long-range telepaths or something?
Yeah, basically.
Wow, that's really cool.
Here, try it out. And John takes out his earpiece and passes it to Orvi.
Stick this in your ear.
Don't worry, it doesn't bite.
Hello?
Much.
Hello?
And from the other side, you can hear Gaston's voice coming in over the radio. Not that one.
Who is this? Hello?
This is Orvi Oniyuri of the Oniyuri clan. Hi.
Aren't you the one that Jisha sent to the woods?
Yeah, and she's still like totally a bitch for that.
How'd you get this?
John said I could try it.
Yeah, that's great. Really nice to meet you in person again. Can you put John back on the line?
He wants to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, sorry about that. He wanted to take a look. I figured we could just let him.
I'm not going to
try it
impersonate Beatdown anymore, but I think I did a pretty good job.
You did really good.
It's pretty good.
That was nice.
All right,
So
so
I've forgotten what accent I gave to Orvi. That's what I get for doing 5 shows in a week.
I was going to say, we're making you play like 50 million different characters. It can hardly be blamed for having difficulty keeping it on all on track.
It's just part of Orvi's eccentricity.
Yeah,
Exactly.
a different American every day.
You know, when you've been to as many different villages as Orvi, you pick up a thing or two.
Yeah, it's cultural mimicry. It's the cultural chameleon thing. It's necessary for being a
Exactly.
successful trader and a merchant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Orvi, you're hunting through the ruins looking for anything valuable, right? Go ahead and roll an investigation check if you have that skill. If not, I will accept perception.
Oh, I have a perception.
All right. And
Wow.
also, your wealth sense isn't really going off that much. Apparently, whatever these people valued, gold, silver, that kind of stuff, not a whole lot of that lying around.
14.
A 14. All
Oh,
right.
also, I feed Zaziks a gold.
You do notice as you progress, you're being watched by more and more blossom spirits. Unseen eye, well, barely seen eyes in 1,000 different luminescent shades watch you from the ancient rubble of the glass and steel towers all around you. You've managed to pick up some bits and pieces, and from what it looks like, the scene's pretty chaotic. It hasn't been chaotic for 100 years or so, but it looks like people were trying to leave in a hurry, Orvi.
Damn, you would think they were that scared of the blossom?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the bloom. I forgot the terminology.
The bloom.
Verdant word.
The Verdants would also have been an accept. I should have named it that. Anyways, John, you're also searching the area. Roll investigation, please.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what... Oh, I have disadvantage. Thank you, by the way. 15.
Okay. There are a lot of wrecked vehicles. Some of them in huge pileups, actually. Lots and lots of them just all in the old streets, overgrown, crushed. Some of them have like been lifted up because they've been growing, you know, the plants have been growing underneath them and have lifted them up. John, you would say there was a mass evacuation and not a very well organized one. It was more of a panic.
Yeah, that tracks. I also got a treasure. Did I happen to find anything amongst the panicked traffic that I've been rummaging through?
Yeah, a battery. And
You found it.
it's not a car battery. It's slightly more sophisticated than that. It's like a progress
Oh.
level 6 battery.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will add
Not
progress
Lacuna's
level 6
tech, but
battery.
yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
Earth-
As in, like, would it be able to fuel my shield battery?
yes,
Or...
yes, it will.
Ah, nice.
It'll definitely power your shield.
Excellent. Wow, so they were pretty
Cool.
advanced, actually.
They were slightly
Wow.
ahead of Earth. Earth is progress level 5.
Yeah. Wow. Very impressive. Very, very impressive.
What you got there?
Oh, this is a battery. John throws it over to Orvi.
It's fairly heavy. It does have like nodes on the top, but because it's a slightly high-tech battery, it glows blue because science glows blue.
Yes.
What does it do? He extends it back towards you.
John takes out his phone and sees that the progress bar for his own battery life is a little bit lower than normal since he hasn't been somewhere to charge it for quite a bit. And he goes, well, let me show you. He puts it in charging mode and just sets it on top of the battery. I would assume that with progress level 6, they probably have compatible charging where you can just... Yeah. And
Contactless charging, yeah.
Exactly. So he just sets the phone down on top of it and then shows, you see that little bar? Well, over the next, 5 minutes, 2 hours, it's going to start going up.
Huh.
Why do you need that?
Oh, well, because this device of mine, much like we need air, water, and food to sustain ourselves, it needs energy. That little box, that battery, stores energy with which feeds the phone. And just about everything else the steel had used to do what it did.
Did this power the bloom?
Some things, yeah. Joe, rather DM, can John tell, was this city powered by mostly like batteries like this, or would it have been electricity and other means as well?
Some of the vehicles nearby were gasoline, so they had fossil fuels on this planet, but they also had, it looks like fossil fuel powered vehicles and industrial plants and such were maybe 30% of what they were using, and they were almost through converting over to pure electrical and other power sources.
Oh, wow. And just, I'm not sure if it's the signs and the advertisements of the, oh, actually, are there signs and advertisements on their vehicles and buildings?
Yes.
Okay. So definitely still mercantile. Did they appear to have, and again, not that John can just look at and understand any alien language, but he's pretty good with his linguistics. Is he able to tell not what they say, but if there's multiple different kinds of, let's say, communication types being used here, or is it seen to be one unified language?
There are a few different languages. One predominantly. You also see a number of, as you're walking around, there are dams, like not dams, but signs where signs of berms being built, sinkholes, and a lot of barbed wire and a lot of tall fences.
Oh. Although we did get... Wait, I don't actually know how much was confirmed from Asena. Pods, do you remember how much Asena was able to translate what you spoke with for that demon and how much you actually told us?
He's still in the bag, right?
Yeah, it's still in the bag. I just know that a lot of us...
guys a lot of things.
I know that our DM said a lot of things, and Asena translated a good amount of it.
An amount of it.
I thought I got all of it.
You certainly thought that, that's for sure.
You guys got whatever Asena translated.
But I just want to clarify, Gnomes, did we actually get to piece together that whatever that big chungus was called,
Ganyu Sinmal.
Yes, Ganyu Sinmal. Was that demon that had been lording over and a dark god to some of the nations? Was that likely here or somewhere like this, and that's why there's so much defenses around? Was they were trying to stop incursions like that?
As you look around, and one, you don't recall that. That was not what ever specified. You don't really. All you know is it's from Bazaroth, the dying demon son.
Yeah.
A lot of what you're seeing around here looks like curfews, rationing, and martial law.
Oh.
This populace was in dire straits before this catastrophe kicked in.
So, John, Asena, what is it you're looking for here? As much as I'd love to just sit around and take all of the steel with me.
Well, I think you would love that, wouldn't you? That's what you're here for, isn't it?
He says, just with his space open, just putting in a few things.
Just randomly, I don't know what this is, but...
Put that back, Orvi.
What do you mean? It's It's just here. It's not. Well, I would say it's not hurt anyone, but recently.
Okay. I still don't think it's a good idea for us to be touching this stuff when we don't understand it.
John is going to cast Silent Image. Now, Orvi, you should really put it back. And John's going to make an image, making it look like he's taking whatever it was that Orvi was holding out of his hand, when Orvi's actually still holding it. And he's just making it look like the Jisha, that he's moving it away and putting it back down on the ground.
Okay, Jisha, roll a perception check, please, against John's spell save DC.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
11.
no dice.
Oh, yep. Nope. John just put it back very carefully. But
Yeah.
Orvi, you're
John looks over at Orvi and winks as he does this.
Just drops it down into space. Goes, you know what, John? You're right. You understand this better than any of us. We should leave it alone.
At least for now. We can
Thank you.
circle on back later. Maybe. But anyways, to answer your question, we already are in the midst of crossing the 7 mountains. At this point, we have to go to where the bloom consumes the steel. Does it seem like that's happening here? Because it kind of looks like it.
It kind of looks like the steel's consuming the bloom.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Because if we have bloom and then put the steel on the bloom, that's like the bloom is getting consumed. But then if we put the bloom back on top of the steel, then at that point, could be different.
Can I use dynamic powers vegetation to see if if I can answer that of like, is it the bloom that's being overtaken by the steel or like vice versa?
okay. Roll 1d20 because your powers are slightly unpredictable. A 7.
Lucky number 7.
Didn't we have an act of God earlier for dynamic entry?
Yeah, we did actually. I
Oh.
was thinking about
Okay.
that.
Jisha.
It's me, Plant Man.
With the power to
Land!
look and be amazed as I waft in the wind.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh my god.
All right. All right. All right. Jisha, you reach out. And the moment that you do, the moment that you start connecting to see which is overcoming which, you are aware that you are surrounded. No, engulfed. All of you. By a single entity. One presence. A consciousness using the same powers you're wielding right now, but on a vastly larger scale. And it is watching you.
Would I be able to tell if it's like, so it's like me?
Except much, much more so.
Okay, that's okay.
Wait,
Whoa.
like you how?
Yeah. I guess well, see, I do this thing where I can usually tell, how the plants are kind of feeling and what they're thinking. I get in touch with them. And I kind of felt like there was something like that, but like bigger.
Like,
What do you mean
big chungus
bigger?
bigger or like what?
I don't know, just like a very like large, powerful presence here.
Okay.
You sense that, Zarzix?
Do you want me to punch it?
No, it's just watching us as Jisha starts to like kind of look around frantically to see where the eyes might be coming from.
There are eyes watching you from every undergrowth and every old skyscraper.
Oh, so literally everywhere.
Yes.
Ah.
And then
Ew, it's like when the spiders are in the grass.
Ew.
and then the bloom speaks. There have been no visitors for a long, long time.
Hello?
Why
Who's
have
there?
you come? And all of you hear this.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask. Asena?
Because you're lonely. We're
Oh, you guys can hear
here.
that too.
I thought it was Asena
yeah.
dicking with me. Okay, everyone can hear that. All right.
That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, who are you?
I am Hana.
Hi, I'm Orvi.
Oh.
Hi,
Wait.
Hana.
Sorry, to clarify, do you mean Hana, the legendary figure that saved the bloom from the steel, or do you mean the world? Like, are you literally the world, or is that the same? Are both
Yes.
those entities? Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
You're the Hana. Oh,
Yes.
wow. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be in your presence. As Jisha kind of looks at the others to like respectfully bow their heads.
Orvi just crosses his arms.
Why are you here?
Please, Hana, we mean you no harm. We're here investigating a disturbance from the steel and to also help these wayfarers find their way back home.
Wayfarers speak.
I already did speak.
And we just had a Streamloots card played for a combo breaker. Jisha,
Uh-oh.
you can use the next time anybody in your party is attacked, you can use your reaction to interrupt the attack.
Ooh. Okay,
Ooh.
cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
I want that.
Yes, hi, Hana. John Carmichael here, former wizard. I am my companion, and now all the rest of us. We're
Hi.
here to recover a dewdrop from a storm. There was recently a really, really bad storm. We were tracking it here. We had to cross 7 mountains, and we had to go to the heart where the bloom consumes the steel and recover this dewdrop. That's why we're here. A dragon sent us, if that helps.
A bad dragon.
Yeah.
We don't know
that
dragons are
for
bad.
Sure.
That's racial profiling.
Against myself.
Against all of us.
Guys, stay focused. This is Hana we're talking in front of. Jeez.
Hana, speak?
The dewdrop is mine.
We do have to punch Hana.
Not punching.
Do you mean that the dewdrop is yours, but you're going to be willing to give it to us? Or do you mean the fallen dewdrop that just came with the storm has now in your possession and you want to keep it?
Let us speak of this face to face.
Gladly.
Follow. And the enormous vines and plants that are up ahead of you part with a groan. Living vines and flowers form a tunnel leading deep underneath the city itself.
Oh, we're 100% gonna die.
Hey, Gaston, we're about to go into a very deep, dark tunnel. Do you have that on your map? Over.
Deep dark. Can you be any more? Hold on. Let me just lock onto your. Yes, that is in the city center. I see a few tunnels coming off of that point, so you should have a lot of egress.
Okay, very good. Thank you. We're about to go find God, by the way.
What?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Over and out.
All right.
What's egress mean?
We have many avenues of escape should we need it.
But what's egress mean?
Specifically?
You descend.
It's leaving.
Oh,
Anything else? We good?
no, it just didn't make sense the
An
first time.
educational moment. No, that's good. More vocabulary. All right. So, As you descend down into the superstructure of the city, passing through the highway up top, which is like archaeological layers of asphalt and concrete and steel rebar and pipes that have since been sundered, and power cables and sewer structure and access maintenance tunnels, proceeding deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the more all of the steel is completely covered. Absolutely overgrown. And from deep beneath, up ahead of you, is a shining green light.
Ooh.
As you emerge at last into the very heart into the very heart of the bloom.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Is it glowing?
Oh yeah,
Oh my.
lots of glow.
Do
Oh,
I do
my.
anything weird?
I mean, that's your
Like-
choice, right?
Like, do I look weird when I am in around like this energy or something?
Weird how?
I don't know. Like, am I glowing also?
Yes. Yes, you are also
Oh.
glowing.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Looking good, Jisha?
This is not normal. I don't know what's happening.
Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, quite the glow up.
Yeah, is that a new skincare routine?
No. No.
It could be.
Maybe.
I'm
You
pretty sure
moisturize
it's
in the
like the
tunnel?
glowy thing in the room.
I think so also. Jisha will start like kind of power walking forward to see like what is at the center of the room.
Okay.
Orvi's going to very trepidatiously touch some of the plant life here.
It's an incredibly thick bed of vines, all at a slight downward angle towards the glowing sphere in the middle of the room. It roils and churns with a cerulean light and is held down by vines that wrap around it, and it sort of shudders and pulses. Not so much like a heart or an organ, but as if something within is sort of buzzing and vibrating around.
So Orvi kind of recoils at the like movement underneath it and actually flies over instead, staying about 10 feet over the ground with Zarzix.
Okay. Where are Asena and John? And you should have control of Zarzix as well, by the way.
Oh,
If you
fuck.
don't, let me know.
John looks over at Asena. Shall we?
Shall we what?
Oh, go on to the vines.
Oh, sure.
And John steps forward, not cautiously. He's used to old reliquary chambers, but this does look pretty uneven, so he just takes his time.
All right, moving forward slowly and carefully into the living chamber.
Do the vines appear to assist, resist, or are unaffected by our passage?
They have permitted you to pass. for the
Are they
time
constantly
being.
writhing? Are they
They shift
reaching up to meet
slightly
our
underneath
feet?
your feet, but they don't impede you or do anything unnatural aside from glow and, exist.
Undulate a bit? Are there
Mhm.
gaps like is shown here, or are they pretty carpeted?
They're pretty carpeted.
Okay. John gets more comfortable the longer he's on it and moves to stand not next to, but just behind Jisha.
Okay.
And Chester goes over to sit on Asena's shoulder.
You hear the voice from the other side of the chamber, not from the sphere itself, but from a figure that is not pinned, hanging from the side of the chamber by vines that ensconce it.
Ah.
Its body made entirely of wood and flowers, its eyes glowing green with the same light in the center of this chamber, and floating above its hands is an egg.
Hey, there it is.
I take it that's what you're looking for then?
That would be it.
That can't be it because that's an egg.
I'm-
We're here for a dewdrop.
You know what? You're right. That's not it. Pack it home. We got to get out of here. This is not what we're looking for.
Wrong turn, pardon me.
Yes.
Wrong number.
You should leave.
Oh, but we've only just arrived. You invited us here, did you not?
I have. What do you
I'm-
want with the dewdrop?
That's a long story.
We're gonna give it to the evil dragon man.
Not an evil dragon. It's just a dragon.
Low?
Yeah.
Low has a heart corrupted by steel.
See, that's basically what I said.
That's a way of looking at it, yeah.
This is an innocent life. I will not surrender it into his hands. Ever since I sealed the way gates, I have been waiting for another guardian to protect us.
Anna, speaking of innocent lives, you know a lot about the bloom, huh?
Yes, I called it.
Why have you called it away from beyond Oniyuri?
I have not.
No one except me has seen a blossom spirit for 10 years in my village. What happened?
You're cursed.
Cursed?
They're what?
John. Ooh, right.
By who?
Right?
We were
John?
supposed to have a conversation before getting here and explaining and talking about our little jaunt through dead apocalypse, bloom apocalypse, whatever you call it. It kind of
What are you talking about, John?
I meant to tell you. Okay. Long story short, I was able to find out from Lostish. Do you remember? You don't remember this. He kind of brushes off Orvi. Do you two remember when we were in the previous village? I snuck up and took off a branch from that cursed tree.
Oh, you did.
Oh, did I not share that? Yeah, no, I snuck up and took a branch from that cursed tree. I collect things, is what I do.
Okay.
Well, Lostish was able to impart upon me that it appears when I removed that branch from the tree, I don't know how, maybe it was just divine intervention or just dumb luck. Well, actually, the Oniyuri are luck-based, so that makes sense. Anyways, this branch, and John holds up, he takes out of his bag that clipped part of the tree. This is apparently...
Orvi lands next to him to look.
Yeah, this is apparently you, Orvi, or at least it's whatever connection that you had to the curse. That
What?
curse, back in the village, that cursed tree is connected to the Oniyuri. It's preventing them from bonding with their blossom spirits. When I pulled this branch off the tree, it severed your connection to the curse, effectively breaking it. That's why you were able to bond with your little friend over there.
Orvi
Wait.
tries to snatch the twig. You didn't think this was relevant?
Wait, I snatch it back from Orvi.
Wait, hold on. And John holds up the branch. Just a moment here. We're being very handsy.
I don't fully, you know what? It's just whatever you're saying doesn't quite sound right. I just want to see if I can take a look at the branch to see if you're telling the truth.
John lowers it down, looks over at Orvi, kind of getting his, some kind of approval that it's okay.
Orvi just gives that long, hard stare.
And John
He has
just not
fire in his eyes.
not taking his eyes from Orvi, he just slowly passes the branch over to Jisha. And then as soon as she grasps it, John snaps his eyes over to her. Be careful with it. I don't know if
I'm
there's a
not
sympathetic
gonna-
connection.
You're right. I won't damage it. I just want to see if I can figure out some properties of this.
Okay, very
Can
well.
I do so, DM?
Yes, the tree that was growing at the heart of the village, covered with beautiful chocolate lily blossom colored plants. Are you just attuning to it with your primal sense, or do you have a specific skill or ability you're using?
I guess I would use maybe both dynamic powers vegetation, if that applies.
Mm-hmm.
and then also maybe like an investigation or a history check
Okay.
for my knowledge of the Kuriuri tribe.
Do a history check for me.
By the way, DM, you still sound like a. Ooh.
Thank you.
My lore is very important.
Oh my gosh, a natural 20. Oh.
Whoa.
Hot diggity dog. Okay. Using your connection to this, suddenly you have a flash. You can see Orvi in this blossom. The traces of his aura, echoes of his life, cut loose from the rest of his clan. And there's the ghost of a dead connection to the rest of his clan. And this is a creeping, choking plant. It is a living curse. And its roots spread throughout. There's a bloom for every single member of the Oniyuri tribe. You can see it. You can see the echoes of it, the hollow shell of it in your mind, reaching out and strangling each one of them, cutting them off from the blossom spirits.
Jisha will kind of recoil as she like holds the branch, just not really knowing that that was what she was going to see. John, you should take this.
Noted. John takes hold of it and puts it right back where he was safekeeping it.
Jisha kind of like looks down and then looks at Orvi. When did you say that you stopped having a relationship with the bloom?
All of us, over 10 years ago. I saw them when I was a kid and then nothing.
I don't think it's your fault. That's why you went to seek out the steel, isn't it? Because you felt the bloom had abandoned you?
Yeah, and when the bloom abandons you here, on our world, you start to starve and you start to die.
I'm sorry. I think that your clan really has been cursed. I saw it all.
From that twig?
Yeah, John was right. That twig was your connection to the curse, but it extends beyond you and it extends to every single member of your village. But John, you cut that twig and it cut Orvi's connection to the curse. Maybe there's a way that we can, change it for everybody.
I think there's a pretty obvious solution. But
Where's the
we
tree?
don't know what that tree is doing, and we don't know why that curse is there. We can't just go cutting it apart.
Yes, you
Taking a
can.
clipping-
Do you
look,
know what happens when people start to starve, John?
I know what happens, or when people start to starve. I also know what happens when you remove a curse without either properly rectifying it, or it could be that that is a safeguard for something even worse. We don't know what it's there for, but, and John indicates over to Hana, we have someone here who likely knows. Maybe we should investigate, find out a bit more. We're not going to run all the way back to the village and chop the tree down right now anyway.
Fine.
I don't know.
Where'd
I
you get
put
your
my hand
dewdrop?
in a tree and pulled the stuff out, and it was fine.
And then I'm gonna go back there and burn it down.
Well, hold on, Orvi. I didn't tell you this information so you could make things worse.
I'll
What
tell
if
you
that
something,
makes things
Jisha.
worse?
Do you know what'll make things worse? Do you know what happens when Oniyuri gonna run out of resources? We don't have food, but we have money. And we'll pay for
Okay.
armies, and we'll start to take.
Okay, wait. This is why I didn't just kind of talk about it as soon as I found it out. I was waiting for a more opportune time. Unfortunately, I didn't realize we were going to encounter the spirit of the world so quickly and end up revealing before we were ready. Orvi, I promise you, we're going to help. We just need to make sure that we do our due diligence. That's all. Just trust
I
us.
will
Buy us
also
some time.
help.
Fine. But you know what my people are gonna do if things get worse.
Yeah,
And I can't stop them.
I know. Or Jisha will turn to Hana. Yeah. Hana, did you know that this was happening?
No.
So you had nothing to do with this curse.
It's not my work.
Gee,
Is that a natural 1 on an insight check?
Yeah, that'd be a natural one on an insight check.
He's lying.
John's fist tightens up as Hana responds so nonchalantly to this revelation.
Can Asena look to Slakura and see if he likes this place?
Sakura is looking around with huge eyes at everything that's going on, just in complete tiny slime awe.
What do you think, buddy? Should we trust this lady or should we go knock down that tree?
Sakura hops on your head.
Okay, he's not helping very much.
Hana, is there something that we should... This seems like something we should fix.
My concern is with the steel.
Well,
Those who
don't
seek
you-
to revive it.
Okay, well, don't you know that if the Oniyuri tribe do not have their relationship with their blossom spirits restored, we could be looking at a revival of the steel. I found Orvi trying to open a waygate.
The
And
vines
that's when these-
in the floor shift at those words.
Shift how?
A waygate?
When you say Orvi opened the waygate, they all sort of slither under the floor. You can feel your footing getting unsteady, but it doesn't drop you through or anything along those lines.
In general or towards Orvi?
Towards Orvi.
Orvi's wings flap a little bit preemptively.
Yeah.
I don't think she liked that.
That opening allowed this child to enter the world. It has been over 100 years since one of the Azrai fell to our home.
Well, consider me a happy father then.
Child.
I will have this child and raise her as a guardian for our planet. At long last, someone to help me in my cause. Not to be the adopted slave of some reckless, steel-loving dragon.
I didn't want to cut you off earlier when
Go ahead, cut me off.
When we entered the room,
Mhm.
and you had said that Hana was talking about trying to find someone to replace them. John had looked over and kind of just given like a hey look to Jisha, and now upon Hana saying this, John's gonna step forward. Hana, you have an entire world full of guardians. He gestures to Jisha. Jisha, without even being asked, has been taking it upon themselves to guard your mountains where the portals lie and keeping people like Orvi and I'm sure many others from seeing to their activation and questioning and working with anything that comes through. I mean, it's obvious that if you're looking for a guardian, look no further.
What are you doing, John?
You've already taken it upon yourself to be a guardian of this realm. Why wouldn't you? Not only have you worked all by yourself in order to defend that which no one had asked you to, you also ascended Mount Kilimanjaro and have the power of a dragon yourself. You've got the heart, you've got the bravery, you have everything you need in order to be the perfect replacement or assistant.
You can't just go up to the Hana and talk me up like that. That's so rude.
Oh, you're right. 1 second. And John strides across the room right up to the Hana and starts talking up Jisha like that.
We're all gonna die.
I don't want to be rude, but let me just say That thing right there, I'm leaving with that. I promise you, I'm leaving with that.
Oh no.
You have a much better option standing right over there, and I'd like for things not to get messy. Now, what do we need to do to work this out? Because I'm certain this can be worked out.
Before John rolls either a persuasion or an intimidation check, your choice, does anybody else have anything that they wanted to say aside from staring in horror?
I've typed mine.
Oh my god. It's not even that I want to be Hana too. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? You're sanctimonious as hell.
I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Exactly. That's why you'd be so good at it if you weren't a corpse.
Why
I'm
don't the
gonna
two
pretend
of
you
you
didn't say that.
why don't the two of you roll perception checks for me? And Asena, while they roll those, are you doing anything?
I think Asena's kind of torn. Like, you know, Hana has reason to be worried about steel in her world, and seeing like what the people of Northport have done to the jungle as well. Like, I think there's some merit there. So she's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe we should hear Hana out a little bit. Find out why it would be bad if we just listen to Lo and give him an egg. Like, we kind of just said we were going to do this for why. Why are we doing this? Do we know?
You're doing this in order to end the feud that Mr. Lowe and the Triple Union Society has against you folks for killing Sunjia, his adopted daughter. He wants a new adopted daughter.
Yeah. This sounds like we don't have to be doing this.
If you don't do it, then his ninjas are going to rain terror on Northport, which doesn't mean you have to do this. It just means you'll have a new problem. You'll have a worse version of the old problem.
Yeah.
So if Asena wants to propose an alternative, that said, John, give me that intimidation or persuasion check, please.
I just want to say, in John's defense, I wasn't here for that episode. I'm along for the ride.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. And you're all
only Asena knows.
you are all allowed to change your mind, by the way. You don't have to agree to go along with the quest, even at this critical moment. You have your free will.
John is going to use his frightful presence, and he is going to make an intimidation check. Not because he is trying to cow this very likely deity into listening to him. He's trying to show the strength of his resolve and showing that he's trying to be less threatening and more so just stating matter-of-factly, if I set my mind to it, this is going to happen. And also, I'm a wanderer, you said it yourself, from somewhere that you have no idea what I'm capable of. So maybe kind of leveraging the how far do you really want to go here? So I don't know if you want them to make a wisdom save as part of
it's a wisdom save,
this.
right? What's the DC?
Yeah. That would be let me pop that in there for you, a DC 15.
I got a 25. Does that pass?
You go. Yeah, no, that didn't do anything.
All right, but you still get the intimidation check.
Roger that. I'll go ahead and roll with intimidation. And do not tell me if it succeeds or fails. I have a lot of toys with which to play with. All right.
An 11.
So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my inspirations that I got from chat, and I'm going to roll that again. Okay, much better, much better.
9.
I am going to go ahead and use one of my lucky dice for the day, and I'm going to roll one more time.
Man's trying really hard to be scary.
Well, I think God's trying to tell me something.
Yeah, one of them said you're not leaving with this child.
Oh my god.
Anything else for the pot?
And as John is saying this, he kind of starts to realize, maybe I don't actually care about this. We did agree to come here and take a dewdrop from a thunderstorm without realizing the full implications that it was going to be the daughter of this world. John turns back to Asena. Are we the bad guys here?
I'd at least like to know if we're the bad guys. Like, Hana, what would happen if we gave the dewdrop to Mr. Lowe?
Lo is an arrogant and self-absorbed dragon. He sees the world as his playground, always seeking to better himself and to see what he can accomplish, starting new organizations, treating lives of mortals as if they are playthings and projects. He will believe in his heart that he cherishes this child, but he will raise her to be a reflection of himself and his own values. Someone to make him feel good about himself, not someone free to live for their own values. John, you said you would leave with this thing. This is not a thing. This is a child. And it is ready to be born.
Oh, good call.
Orvi,
Yes,
you got an 11 on the perception check, right?
I did. My passive perception is 19 though.
The glowing sphere in the middle of the room thuds on your side. And for
Like a heartbeat
moment,
kind of thing, like a.
No, like a handprint.
Oh. Now, I don't want to tell you Outlanders how to do things, but, I don't think we should fight the god of all creation.
That would be wise. What? Wait, why are we gonna fight? Who said anything
John-
about fighting?
John wants to take her kid. You think he just hand it over?
Well, I. Isn't that why we're here?
Thud, thud, thud.
What was that?
I found out what I needed to here. Orvi takes a step back from this, starting to flap his wings towards the back with Zarzix.
Orvi is backing away. What are Asena and Jisha doing?
We hear the thuds too.
Roll a perception check, Asena. Jisha, for a moment, you see the shadow of a hand pounding on the inside of the sphere. Asena, you're a little preoccupied with existential and ethical crises.
Can I take a look?
It's on the opposite side of the sphere for you, and you are facing off with Hana at this exact moment. Roll a perception
I
check to
hear
see if you
anything?
hear the thud. Yeah, roll a perception
thank
check to see if you hear it. Yeah, you hear it.
While John's squaring up with Hana, every now and then he kind of just like, without turning his head, like his eyes dart back to his periph.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on back there?
The glowy heart is angry.
Hey, Hana. Would you be so kind to tell us what's in the middle of this space?
Roll persuasion, please, Jisha.
Wow.
I'm going to give you advantage
No.
on this roll because you're from the woods and you have a special bond to this place. So I'm going to give you one reroll on this out of everybody in the party. 17.
Better.
That is a champion of steel. She must remain where she is. Dun, 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 dun.
Are we making it angry? Why is it pounding on its encasing?
It is caged. You not seek your own freedom? Can she
Any
be
chance
blamed?
of reinforcing that cage?
She cannot leave.
Are you sure? What?
I am sure.
Because, we ran into something that was eating blossom spirits that we thought was from the steel.
Ganyu Sinmo.
Yes, that one.
Not one. Many.
You're telling me there's more of those things?
Yes.
Is that one?
No.
Jisha like points.
She will
Okay.
not leave, but she must not be allowed to leave.
Well, what is she, Hana?
A champion of the steel, who I cannot kill.
You can't kill it.
No.
Is that like an honor thing or a power thing?
Roll persuasion, Orvi.
Persuasion! Bam!
That is something. Neither.
Huh? You want to elaborate on that, milady?
Cannot kill her.
Can't
Hana
or
is a being of
Oh.
creation, not a being of destruction.
but it's not it's steel. If that's even a are they living?
John turns back to Jisha. There's a person in there. There's a being in there. That's not just an inanimate construct.
I thought the steel was just an idea. I never imagined that the steel could be a person.
John turns back to Hana. I ask you again, who is that?
Foremost champion of the steel.
You've said, but what does that mean?
Her name will mean nothing to you, Outworlder.
Then what did she represent?
An obstacle. A compromise that could not be allowed if our world was to survive.
Hana, what is her name?
Rejuvia.
Laura check, does that ring any bells?
It does
for me
not.
or Orvi?
It does not.
Okay.
That sounds like a name with some connotations to it.
But you can see a silhouette inside the sphere now that you've looked closer.
Oh my god, there's a person in there. Jisha will get a little closer.
Okay.
John, I'm kind of changing my mind.
Can I reply?
You can reply to this message.
You know, I was, right up until I found out that this being has something trapped in there.
It's kind of taking everything I have right now to not just tear that apart.
I'm with you.
Okay. I'm gonna move closer to the...
Okay. Jisha, as you get closer and you look inside, you see a woman with the exact same hair color as Kuriyori Zanami, the witch from the Kuriyori village. But she's wearing metal armor. Fine, it's almost an emerald green color. It's not a metal you're familiar with. It's clearly the work of the steel. It's highly sophisticated, high tech, and she's pounding on the sides of it and shouting, but none of her words are going through.
But could I read her lips?
Roll a perception check.
She appears to be saying, fuck you.
She killed them. She killed all of them. You have to let me out, please.
Who?
She
Who did
points
she kill?
up.
Jisha will look up and around.
You're surrounded by the heart of the bloom. There's nothing but vines and plants everywhere that you can see. But above all of this is the desolate, quiet city.
Are you saying that she killed your city?
She's saying to you that the bloom was a hostile takeover?
But you are from the steel of... You're not supposed to be good.
What are the rest of you doing? Orvi, you're close enough to be involved with this if you'd like. John, you're still facing off against Hana.
John can hear all this, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
John's starting to shake.
All right,
His fists are balled up.
I messed up my overlay a little bit, but Mama Shimada just played the Ninjutsu Fact Deck.
Ooh.
You can gain information about one character or creature of your choice. Tactical information.
There we go.
What does the team want to know? How do you want to use this?
I would say Rejuvia, right?
Yeah. Who
I
be
think
she?
so.
Okay, so again, this is tactical information. This isn't necessarily like a deep look into her personality and such. What kind of tactical information do you want to know?
Are we talking like stats? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well,
then
we
I
don't
want
care
to
about her
know how
stats.
many hit points this
We
Hana.
want Hana's stats if we're gonna go for stats. Yeah.
Okay,
I thought it
you
was
want
lore.
you want Hana's stats?
Yeah, if it was lore, I'd want Rejuvia. If it's stats, I think yeah.
Okay. Hana, the Enlightened One, medium plant, armor class 20, hit points 240. All of her stats are 18, except her wisdom is a 22. She has the immutable quality, which means it's almost impossible to transform, alter, or displace her. All attack rolls made against her are made with disadvantage. She has lair actions that grant her.
Why, by the way?
What was that?
Attacks are disadvantaged. Is there a source for that? Is it magical or?
It's just a anime 5e ability. She has
Cool.
edge rank 6.
Gotcha.
Jeez.
Regeneration rank 6, so she recovers 6 hit points per round. She can summon Blossom Spirits. She has a Lashing Vine attack, a Constrict attack, and bonus actions, legendary actions. And if you hit her with a melee attack, she can use Be Gone to yeet you away from her.
Is that an actual like push or is that like a teleport?
She hits you with a Lashing Vine, and her Lashing Vine normally pulls you towards her, but instead this would push you away from her.
What was after Blossom Spirits before the Lashing Vine?
I don't remember. Regeneration, possibly?
What? Oh, okay. So we had immutable attacks are made. Now attacks made with advantage, attacks against them are made with disadvantage.
All attacks against her have disadvantage.
Okay, and then
and-
Regen 6, Summon Blossom Spirits, Lashing Vine, Legendary Actions, Yeet Push. There was one more, I think.
Oh, yeah. Here's one. She has an ability called Planar Slip. Each creature within 15 feet of
Stop.
her has to save or be knocked prone and take force damage, and she teleports. It's a gift of the Great Dragon of Wisdom.
Is that it?
No, there's a lot more, but she can. If she grapples you, she can suck the life out of you to replenish herself. So if you're grappled, don't stay grappled. I'll put it that way.
Oh.
Also, she can open portals to and from the woods.
Yeah, so she's just the bigger me.
She's Mega Jisha.
Like
She's
way
like this.
bigger.
She's the one who opened the door that summoned your people into this world. And she's got powers from the Great Dragon of Wisdom, which is the thing that brought Asena back to life and the source of her powers.
Right.
So yeah, Ninjutsu Fact Deck, your ninja info cards are highly helpful.
Yeah.
Whew. Dang. That was cool.
Okay.
John.
Yeah.
Orvi's like staring at the board fists. Can you tell, he like gestures to the earpiece thing 'cause he doesn't know what it's called. Can you tell them what you know about my people before, things?
Mate, would I be able to give you a point of inspiration to say that John had an open comm with Gaston this whole time?
Yes.
Cool.
Done and done. Also, you can just text him because you've got the ninja info cards and you've got a phone, so you can just like bloop, upload that to him.
Yeah, mostly I want going forward to just make sure that there's an open channel between what is being said and presumably as much as can be heard within range.
Done and done.
And
Gaston
will try and
informs
slip
you
stuff.
that there should be tunnels, 4 directional tunnels leading out of this chamber. 1 to each cardinal direction.
Oh.
Jisha, I don't think Hana is what you think they are.
That's impossible. Hana is the creator of our world as we know it.
That's incorrect. Hana is the source of the bloom.
Well,
The bloom is
right.
not the world. The world existed before Hana. It will exist after Hana.
But
These
isn't
blossom
there-
spirits are an aspect of nature, but they are not.
DM lore check.
Mm-hmm.
Up to this point, Jisha has been very, very stoic and supportive, and like steadfastly loyal to the bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure that I'm remembering correctly, there is a general consensus the bloom cave in to save the world from the steel.
Right. The world was dying because of climate change. Oceans were rising, crops were perishing. The bloom literally, the air is full of carbon. Plants are made of carbon. Turned all that carbon into plants.
Right.
Saved the world. Saved the dying civilizations.
Yeah. So I guess
That was before
Jisha
that was before you were here, though. You were never a part of that world.
Right. So I just think this is
Mhm.
this is for the best, though.
Right.
Yeah. So Jisha would relay that information, I think, and just kind of be very much still like on that coin of like, but the steel was hurting the world. The bloom came in to save the world. We wouldn't be here if the bloom hadn't come in. The world would have collapsed and died.
Well, the people that lived here would have collapsed and died. If it's anything like my Terra, this world would have eventually healed itself. It just would have killed. It would have let everything else die, so that way it could come back. The bloom
Millions
saved
of
you.
species, countless plants, untold lives through terrible suffering. So much would have been lost.
But
Exactly.
yes, but at what price? What have you traded?
That which was is no more. That others might live.
Right. So it was to save, it was right. You didn't want everybody to perish, so you saved some but had to remove others so that the mass could live.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. See? Not everybody had to die. Just the ones that were hurting the world.
Well, the one she couldn't kill. And he nods towards Rejuvia.
Well, yeah, why didn't you kill her then?
Can't kill her.
I don't understand though. If she's a champion of the steel and you removed the steel, how did you not kill her?
Give insight, please. 15. Despite her literally wooden face, there is sadness and heartbreak in Hana's voice when she says, I can't kill her.
Why not?
Because I will live forever, and I could not live with myself.
But
Yeah, so why not live with a prisoner?
yeah,
Hana
why-
was a real person before they became this deity. Hana, what was Rejuvia to you before?
my friend, my compatriot. We fought alongside each other. We tried to save the world together.
But then what happened? Why is she saying that you killed everybody? She seems angry at you.
She wanted to compromise, and everything would have been lost. There was no chance that we could hold back the death of this world. It was too late. Every effort that we made, modifications to industry, advances in science, curtailing our lifestyles, what had been set in motion could not be arrested.
Science. That... Okay. Sure, I don't know what any of that means.
Jisha, I was of this world before. I was of the old world. I was born in it, I grew up in its death throes, watching as millions starved, as countless civilizations were displaced, as desperate wars for resource-starved civilizations just trying to survive turned against each other, as toxins and poisons and disease spread across the remnants. I watched civilizations implode upon themselves and tear themselves apart and devolve into plague and desperate, never-ending struggle for survival, a struggle they were going to lose.
See? That makes sense then. You had to save at least some of them. If you couldn't save everybody.
Juvia believed in mortal answers.
Jisha, we're only hearing one side of the story. Where I come from, we have a saying, history is written by the victors. Obviously, in this scenario, Hana is allowed to say exactly how they believe things would have been and how things are, because they're the ones who won. They're the ones who ascended to godhood, summoned the bloom, and now make the rules of this new world. You're able to read Rejuvia's lips. Interact with her. Ask her what happened. We don't get to do that normally. You have a relic of history, someone who was there, someone who has an opposing view to what occurred. I'm certain that Hana is not lying. At least they don't believe they are. But usually, truth lies somewhere between what we've been told and what actually happened.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rejuvia, was it? Is Hana telling the truth? No.
She taps her ear. No sound is traveling from outside the sphere into the sphere. And Hana has no lips.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Asena, can you...
I don't know. Can I?
Mental contact is also blocked by the sphere.
Hana, how did you create this sphere in the first place?
I am the bloom.
So you could make it again.
And it is.
So you can make it again.
You have disturbed her enough.
Hana, I think it's only fair that you give Rejuvia the chance to speak for herself. You give Jisha the chance to find out where it was that she actually came from and be able to make her own decisions going forward.
If that
I believe it's in your...
is to be made, it will be made without off-worlders. You cannot judge our lives. I am not going to stand before a court of strangers to be judged.
This is not a court of strangers. You have Oniyuri and Botan standing right here before you. They're the ones who brought us here. They guided us here. We have not cut through your lands like so many invaders.
They also have blossom spirits that were attached to them.
We've done our very best to make sure that we have gone through the proper protocol to be respectful of your ways and your world. We're not here making demands, aside from the fact that I said I was going to take that, but to be honest, I didn't know what that was upon coming here. I'm giving you the chance to do what's right.
roll a persuasion check, John. And I want to hear from the rest of the party as well. So Jisha, is there anything else you want to throw in?
No, just the fact that they have blossom spirits.
That was kind of a, I guess I have to actually listen to this argument now. All right, so do give me a persuasion check, but you get some automatic progress on that. I want to hear one from John. I want one from Jisha. John with a 26. Okay.
It can get better. Hold on a moment.
Jisha with a 3. You got any inspiration in the bank? Anyone?
Listen.
Didn't you say that she gets rerolls on interactions while in the bloom?
Actually, on interactions with Hana specifically,
And
because
isn't this an
she's from the
interaction with
woods.
Hana?
Yeah, so I'll give you a free reroll on that.
Okay.
A 4.
Wow.
That's terrible.
All right, so I got a 30,
Wow.
and if that fails, I have a 1 more D4 roll. So let me know how that goes, Chief.
Orvi, are you chiming in on this at all? Are you weighing in on either side?
Orvi at the moment is examining the more translucent skin of the cell.
Okay. And what
Trying
about
to determine its
Asena?
properties.
Got it. And what about Asena?
Asena's not verbally chiming in on this persuasion, but you can see that she is starting to back up
Mm-hmm.
to try and get out of range of everyone else.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay. All right. Bloom has chosen them even though they're off-worlders. You have never been anything but a faithful guardian of these lands. If my truth can stand the last 100 years, it can stand your questions. Very well. Hana lowers her hands, and the sphere unravels, revealing Rejuvia, who gasps as a miasmic cloud of green fog lifts up, evacuating the area, and she breathes the free air for the first time in 100 years. She looks around, she looks at Orvi, who was inspecting it a moment ago. She is the spitting image of Kuriyori Zanami. She's a fox spirit too, wearing tech armor. And
That's the tribe that Orvi just found out cursed his thing, right?
mm-hmm.
Cool.
And as the sphere opens, the entire chamber shudders. The vines writhe, and they begin to change color to a deep chocolate crimson. Hana gasps, shudders, and falls to her knees. Kuriyori blossoms begin sprouting up throughout the entire heart of this chamber.
Whoa.
As the curse of the Kuriyori family comes for Hana, who has aided the steel by releasing its greatest champion. And we'll find out what happens next when we return from this short break right here on Coriander Society Yokai Blossom. We'll be right back.